Dragons Live, presented by Form Communications.
Hello everyone and welcome to Dragons Live. That's Tommy Thompson. I'm John Webby Webking. On tonight's show, we'll visit with head coach Rollie Bullock about the 20-year anniversary of Dragon Women's Soccer, check in with our Dragons Live top 5 plays of the month, and of course, get you caught up with all your favorite Dragon sports.
That's right. Let's jump in with Dragon football. With their best start since 1987, the Dragons began the year at 3-0 before falling last Saturday to Southwest Minnesota State. Along the way, we celebrated opening day at the new Shields Field, a Sports Center top 10 miracle catch to beat Concordia St. Paul, and an incredible game at home to defeat Augustana. Those moments combined to create a lot of buzz around the program. Let's take a look back at all the highlights.
One of the best starts in recent history for the Dragon football program began on opening day at Shields Field back on September 3rd against Winona State. The $1 million project was finally put to the test under the lights as the Dragons pounded the Warriors 42-17 with quarterback Jake Hodge throwing for 5 touchdowns, but also getting some huge help from the Dragons defense. Game 2 at Concordia St. Paul ended with the number 2 play of the day on SportsCenter's top 10. With time winding down, the Dragons found themselves down 4. After a defensive stop, the Dragons found themselves on their own 6-yard line, needing to go 94 yards in 28 seconds to win with no timeouts. And they did with this miracle tip catch to Corey Ambrose. Hodge hurls it into the air, tipped up by Damon Gibson, and Ambrose comes down with it in the corner for the Dragon victory. If the buzz wasn't enough already, the Dragons returned home to face Augustana with a chance to go 3-0 for the first time in almost 30 years. The offense was the Cinderella story before, but the Dragon defense this time sealing the victory as they stole 4 interceptions, including this one by Mike Strand with just seconds to go to seal the win. The Dragons would eventually fall to Southwest Minnesota State last weekend and now sit at 3-1 overall.
Football is set to return home this Saturday at 2 p.m. to face nationally ranked Minnesota Duluth. Should be a great one.
That should be a good matchup. Another interesting fact about Dragon football is that there are 3 sets of brothers on the roster this year. Let's meet the family inside the Dragon football family.
All right, my name is Anthony Benford. This is my brother Chris Benford. Then we got the Bix brothers. And then we got the Ray brothers over here. We were the first brothers here. What happened was we had an old coach that used to coach here. He recruited my brother, then he seen me on some plays and was like, hey, are you guys related? And then he started talking to my brother about me, and then we both got recruited.
I learned about this school from Chris and Anthony Benford. I fell in love with the program that they had here, and I had to tell my brother about it. And
Coach Kittleson recruited me, and I already had the idea of coming here because my brother was here and my cousins were here.
I was at the NDSU camp, and I was talking with Coach Hunt, and I was like, dang, that's a pretty cool coach. And apparently they tried calling me a bunch, but I didn't hear them. So then came to my school and cornered me, and they started talking to me about it. I was like, hey, that sounds like a kind of cool place. And I came on my visit. You know, it was one of my last visits, and when I got here, I knew it was the place I had to be.
When they started recruiting me, I had kind of already been around, you know, been up to a lot of the games to watch Jack, and it's just such a great program. I decided this is where I wanted to come.
It's just a lot of fun to have my brother around. You know, it's cool because, you know, I grew up with him. So, I mean, he worked out with us this summer. He lived with me, and kind of felt like, you know, I had to take him under my wing just because I had already been up here and I kind of knew the system. And
I really like having my little brother here, actually. To be honest, he is better than me. We're in this life thing together, like we're doing it together. So it's good to have someone by your side that you've been growing up with to just help you through life, help each other through life.
We've been playing together for a long time. I can remember since we were like 6 years old. So I like teaching him, letting him know what he's doing wrong and help him improve because I can still see his potential.
I feel like it's a competition. If I see him make a good play or out here doing extra drills, it makes me want to be better than him. You know, the older brother always teaches the little brother new things, and it's always been a deal that the little brother should always be better than the big brother.
It's nice to have something to work toward. I want to get to that point, and then I want to keep working, you know, just be as good as I can.
On and off the field, there's a connection that's built, and, you know, there's already connection within the family or whatever, but, you know, it's always good to have that extra teammate that we can consider family. I feel like the whole team is as a brother together. You know, we treat each other the same. I don't treat him better than anybody else just because we're blood brothers. I treat everybody the same because, you know, now I'm on this team. I feel like we're all brothers and we're all family now.
I mean, I think it's cool to see so much, you know, family on the same team because it kind of shows that, you know, the older guys get here and we just love this program so much.
Stick with us here on Dragons Live. After the break, we talk with head coach Rollie Bullock about the 20-year anniversary of women's soccer.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
Buffalo Wild Wings Team Up for Kids program is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Join us at buffalowildwings.com/giving.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Mr. Goldman loved his family a lot, didn't he, Dad?
He sure did.
That's why he had State Farm life insurance, like you. So his family never has to worry, right?
Mr. Goldman didn't have life insurance.
Why not?
He's just a goldfish.
Ignore him.
Call State Farm agent David Eggers in Moorhead today so your family won't have to worry about whether you have life insurance.
We put the life back in life insurance.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. As promised earlier in the show, we're going to revisit the first 20 years of Dragons soccer. And who else better to talk to about the topic than head soccer coach and the creator of Dragons soccer 20 years ago, Rollie Bullock. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Thanks for joining us today. First of all, tell us how Dragons soccer kind of started.
Well, 1995, the MSUM moving to Division II, and I think within the conference, women's soccer was one of those sports that to be in the conference you needed to have. So they decided to add women's soccer, and I applied for the position and interviewed, and there we go.
What is the process of starting a program that hadn't existed before?
Well, it's number one is finding players.
Sure.
You know, and we were pulling players from on campus, and we were fortunate to find Tracy Seibel on campus from Rapid City. But we also pulled a lot of local kids. I think the 2 recruits that I had that year, Shauna DeRocher from Bloomington Kennedy and Aaron Hazy from Champlain Park, contributed right away that first year. But it was, I can't remember the exact number. I think it was maybe like 15 that we had on the roster when we got everything together.
And then, what was it like playing together the facilities and now the beautiful Dragon soccer field that you guys play on today?
Well, I was thinking about that this morning. I was out on the field and we didn't have a scoreboard. And so, spectators that would come to the game, if you came late, you wouldn't know what is the score. So someone at one point in time, someone thought that those little flip number things might work. The problem with that is the spectators couldn't really see the numbers, but then when the wind blew, they would run up the score like 6 or 7 goals, and I know we didn't score that many goals. so that's different having a scoreboard. It's the I think one of the things that's different now from in the past. I think players are more technical. And I think that's, to be successful, that's one of the things that you have to find, is find technical players, ability to settle the ball, ability to connect a pass.
Yeah, and I guess have you seen been the progression all the way from, you know, the first year? I mean, the first 5 years had to be, you know, a little rough getting everything started, but I would say that's wrong, because '96 was a heck of a year getting the first NSIC title. So talk about those first couple of years and those first kind of 5 years and how the program kind of got started in the right direction.
Well, there was, you know, a steep learning curve,
sure,
you know, as far as logistics and you know, how do you manage the team. But I think we were really fortunate to, you know, gather in those players that we did get. You know, Tracy Seibel was one of those personalities on the field that, you know, our game was then to, you know, just get it to Tracy, basically. You know, play the ball behind their back line. She'd run onto it and then score. You know, and she set all our scoring records, which stand today. But other little things, you know, we didn't travel by bus. We traveled by the vans. Took 2 vans, hopped in the vans, and drove to our destination and everything. So, and I can't remember right now exactly who was in the conference. I know Winona was in early with us. Minnesota Duluth was in early with us. You know, maybe it was Southwest that was in early with us and everything. So, and to make up the schedule, you had to pick up games from other conferences, other NAIA schools, and Division III schools. See if we can get some games with them.
And, you know, like I said, it was kind of a hot start. Started in '95, '96, NSIC title, Coach of the Year honor. I believe '98 Coach of the Year honor. '02 Coach of the Year honor at Wayne. I mean, you had a lot of success early on there, and it was a great way to kind of start the program. What are some of your fondest memories? I mean, we talked about Seibel. What are some of your best memories from the last 20 years of Dragon soccer? What really stands out to you?
Well, it's the players,
yeah.
And you know, that's the bottom line. And you know, you stay connected with you know, a lot of our alumni, you know, through Facebook, and it's fun to watch. You know, they have kids now and watch their kids, and you know, but to remember back to what they were like as students and as students athletes, and you know, some of the instances on the road or during a game. You know, a particular player, we were playing NDSU, and I think that's, you know, one of the years we beat NDSU at that time. But for whatever reason, the NDSU player had the ball at her feet, and she was taking space, going right at our defender, and she turned her back, and it looked to me like she was running away, but she tripped and fell, and the NDSU player ran right over her back. She had cleat marks right down the back. But those are, you know, things like that, and she laughed about it, and we still bring up that issue with her, you know, whenever we meet. You know, so it is the players that you remember.
What does it feel like to have 20 years of a program you started in the books?
It's special, you know, and throughout this entire year, starting, you know, in January, remembering, you know, what I was doing 20 years ago, trying to find players, you know, and throughout this past summer, you know, when going out recruiting for our 2016 players, but you're thinking back of the, you know, the players that, you know, again, you were trying to recruit for that first team, and then getting into our season, you know, remembering, you know, the teams that we played then, you know, and how things have changed over the course of, we were just down at Wayne State, you know, and you know, I was down there for a couple of seasons, but just to see the changes there also. So just, and you know, riding the bus, I know where to go. You know, you know, you don't need your GPS, because I know the shortcuts, and just don't pay attention to that GPS, because I know where to, you know, how to get there.
Well, you do know how to get there. Tell us where this team, and we've got 20 years in the books, what does the future look like for Dragon women's soccer?
Well, it's you know, we're a young team, okay? The recruiting process is, you know, we're pretty solid at defense right now, and for the next probably 2 or 3 years. You know, we're not giving up a heck of a lot of goals. If you take away that that St. Cloud game, you have to put that aside.
And we'll just forget that.
Yeah, we'll forget that one. But we're competitive in games, and that's where we want to be. And our goal is still to get to that conference tournament. And I think the last time we were there, we lost in that championship game 1-0. So we're close. We need to find another Tracy Seibel, or three. Yeah, that would be good. And get somebody that can put the ball in net, and we'll be off to the races.
Well, good luck, and definitely thank you for helping get a wonderful program and impacting so many lives through women's soccer for the past 20 years, not only for here, but in the entire NSIC. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate being here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There's more Dragons Live coming up, including recaps of Dragon Volleyball and the always fun teammate game.
TV here, TV there. Yes, it's TV everywhere. In the car, in a tree. Midco makes it easy, see? Mid-Continent's TV everywhere. Take some of your favorite programming, well, everywhere on your mobile devices. TV everywhere on the moon? Not just yet, but maybe soon. Mid-Continent's TV everywhere. Free with your cable subscription. Click happiestdevices.com.
Around here, there's more than one way to live. And at Gate City Bank, there's more than one way to bank. We create banking to fit you. So whatever your way of life, we make it better. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
What I love about bow hunting is the challenge, the physical challenge, the mental challenge. I love the fact that it's not easy. 12 years it took me to shoot a trophy whitetail buck. It's what I breathe, eat, sleep, bow hunting. When I'm working with a customer, I want my passion to rub off on them. I am Brandon Carlson, and I'm one of the archery experts at Shields.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. Dragon Volleyball just finished up a 4-game homestand in the last week, including 2 matches against nationally ranked opponents. They were 8-1 heading into the match against UMary after 2 tournaments on the road, including Golden, Colorado and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Their only loss was to Northwest Missouri State, which came right after knocking off then number 8 ranked Grand Valley State. Back home, the Dragons took care of UMary and St. Cloud State in 3 sets, but fell twice to number 19 ranked Northern State in 5 sets and number 1 ranked Minnesota Duluth in 3 to currently sit at 10-3 overall.
With so many games and so few days to start this season, the volleyball team has spent a lot of time together. So, we decided to test just how much Amber Krensky and Caitlin Van Winkle know about one another with our teammate game.
Okay, are you ready?
What movie are you thinking?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just Stitch.
I was thinking Dory.
They're both pretty close.
They're both blue.
Perfect.
Did you do the favorite?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Don't make it Yeah, we know.
Okay.
3, 2.
Oh.
We just saw him on TV last night.
You watch him every night?
He's up there too.
Okay.
I have 2 of them, so it's right.
This is the easiest one I've had all day.
This is so
Okay.
Yeah! Oh,
yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Set.
Oh, no, that's not a compliment.
I know, but I don't really like ranch.
Well, you
I was
got the
gonna do
answer
sour
wrong
cream or
yourself.
cream cheese.
Logical. I was gonna, okay, I think I had one, but I don't know if it's
Just
the
think
same.
what I would need.
Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Well,
that's kind of the same
because
thing.
I'm late for everything,
Right,
so
it's
I
a
need
super
to speed up a little bit. And
That's like the
be able to
same
teleport
thing.
so I can drive there. Bounding through a prairie.
Right, I'm bounding. You ready?
I can go!
I think that would be fun.
Would they get like 2 of those right?
Right, and they live together too, so there's really no excuses there.
Oh, that's great. Great job, Tommy. Now let's get caught up with your Courtyard by Marriott Athletes of the Week. September 9th, Jake Hodge and Carly Maslowski. Hodge had a big day in helping the Dragon football team to a 42-17 win over Winona State and the debut of the new Shields Field. He was also NSIC Offensive Player of the Week. Maslowski had a big weekend helping the Dragon volleyball team to a 4-0 record at the Order Classic in Colorado, finishing the weekend with 53 kills. September 16th, Brady Spiker and Gabrielle Bjorgi. Spiker, also the NSIC Men's Cross Country Athlete of the Week, after winning the individual title at the Dragon Twilight. Bjorgi has been a stellar defensive player for MSUM women's soccer. She's part of a defense that's held opponents scoreless for the Dragons' last 303 minutes and 49 seconds. September 23rd, Demetrius Carr and Amber Krensky. Carr, who also was named the NSIC Offensive Player of the Week, had an outstanding performance as the Dragon football team won 35-34 over Augustana. The sophomore was 25 of 29, passing for 446 yards and 4 touchdowns. Krensky, who picked up her second NSIC Defensive Player of the Week honor of her career, helped MSUM volleyball open the conference season with 2 wins. September 30th, Josh Young and Michaela Bloomer. Young was the Dragons' top finisher at the Roy Griak Invitational in Minneapolis, finishing 41st place in the field of 392 runners to help the Dragon men finish a solid 8th at the meet. Bloomer shot the Dragons' lowest individual score of the season with a final round of the Mustang Invite with an 81, her lowest round of her young Dragon career. That's it for your Courtyard by Marriott Athletes of the Week.
New this episode is our Matt Bus Fan of the Week. Here's the man behind the revival of Nemzig Noise, Aaron Simmons.
My name is Aaron Simmons. I'm from Stewartville, Minnesota. I'm a junior here at MSUM. I'm a huge supporter of Dragon Athletics. With the Athletics, they've been playing so well lately, it's hard not to cheer for them.
And you were going crazy all night tonight for the Dragon volleyball team, going to 5 sets against Northern. Plus, we saw you last weekend at the football volleyball doubleheader. What is it about Dragon Athletics that gets you so fired up?
You know, there's just a lot of heart and soul in our Dragon athletes. There's just a lot of fun to watch, and it's fun to be around my classmates and just cheer on the red and black.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got the fan favorite Dragons Live Top 5 Plays. Stay tuned.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
Liddy here with another lesson.
Come on, we're gonna be late. And remember, I'm picking you both up from practice tonight.
Oh, you know, Matt Bus could take your kids to all their activities. It'll save you time and teach them some independence.
That's a fantastic idea. Can they take it tomorrow?
Of course, sweetie. And here's something to get you through today.
You are a lifesaver. I learned my lesson. Join me in taking the iGo Eco Challenge.
Welcome back. Let's check in with the always fired up Doug Peters for this week's Doug's Desk.
I'm fired up you're joining me for this week's segment of Doug's Desk. What's going on behind the scenes in Dragon Athletics? What's not going on behind the scenes in Dragon Athletics? perhaps we've got one of the most important events of our year coming up this week, where we bring in all of our freshmen. I'm here in the registrar's office because that's an important part of it. It's hard to believe that we're almost ready for registration for the second semester. So what we do is we bring in all our freshmen. We have a little Subway. Thank you to Subway, who's one of our corporate sponsors. And then we try and educate them a little bit about how to register, what the process looks like, what the online side looks like, and really just to connect with our freshmen so that they know who to come to, ask for help, and have that basic knowledge of what they need to do to be able to get registered for those second semester classes and for the rest of their years here at MSUM. That's really the important thing going on behind the scenes in Dragon Athletics that we're really focused on. The other part is we have a few benchmark things coming up in the near future, which I'm excited to share with you as they get a little bit closer. I'm fired up. Hope you are too, and we'll see you at the games this weekend.
Now it's time for your Valley Imports Dragons Live Top 5. At number 5, let's start with something fun. The first ever Dragon Volleyball player cards, and there are some gems. Monica Vega and Katie Myers are probably my faves. Loving the sense of humor here. A lot of fun to shoot those. At number 4, Kelsey Hartkoff swinging for the kill, partially blocked and into the face of the opponent, adding a little insult to injury as the Dragons take U-Mary in straight sets. At number 3, how does this not make SportsCenter Top 10? I have no idea. Gibson makes 2 crazy grabs, including this bobbling, falling, crazy catch to set up the play. We'll see a little bit later. At number 2, an amazing finish for the Dragon Twilight as our own Molly Montoni outkicks Minnesota Duluth's Chose in the final stretch to win the Randy Smith race.
Montoni's even with Chose. It's going to be a kick to the finish. Montoni, I think Molly broke her. Molly Montoni takes the victory as the Randy Smith champion.
And at number 1, you probably guessed it, it made number 2 on SportsCenter's Top 10, going 94 yards in 28 seconds for this tipped ball touchdown Hail Mary game winner. What an incredible play as Hodge scrambles to give Gibson a chance, but the tip straight to Ambrose. Tiptoes in 2 feet inbounds for the victory. Simply amazing. And those are your Dragons Live Top 5 brought to you by Valley Imports. Now let's take a look back at Dragons Golf, starting with the Dragon Invitational on September 12th and 13th. Led by Berglund with a 94-89 two-day total, Dragons would take 5th overall with a team score of 763. The theme of the golf team is constant improvement. Here you see at the Concordia St. Paul. Iverson has a strong first and second days, posting 89 and 86. Dietz also has a strong second day, posting an 86. Team total is 721, earning the Dragons 7th overall. And at the Mustang Invite, still constant improvement, dropping the team score down to 705 with a lot of help coming from Bloomer with a 90-81, really solid day 2 there, and Iverson mid-80s, 86-84 for the tournament. Now running over to cross country, starting with the Dragon Twilight on the 11th. Men taking first, strong showing, taking 1, 2, and 3, led by Spiker, taking first with a time of 19.2. And the women led by Molly Montoni, taking first in a last-second kick for the win, which you'll see coming up in the show. And Smith at 5th and Carlson at 6th to take 2nd to Minnesota Duluth. Next up was the Roy Griak Invitational in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the U of M. Men taking a strong 8th place finish with 261 points, led by redshirt freshman Young taking 41st. Women led again by Molly Montoni placing 7th, but a lot of help from Smith and Carlson helping them take 6th place overall with 137 points. Looking ahead at some home events on October 3rd, soccer football doubleheader at 12 and 2. Soccer taking on Mankato and football taking on Duluth, and that game is on live on WDAY's Extra. On the 4th, soccer will take on Concordia St. Paul Golden Bears at 1. And get ready for Dragon Homecoming. We are Dragons on the 16th and 17th. Homecoming Day is the 17th. 4 events that day: swimming, soccer, football versus Bemidji State, and volleyball versus Concordia St. Paul. You can catch both football and volleyball live on WDAY's Extra. Thanks again for joining us on Dragons Live. For Tommy, Alex, and all of us here at Dragons Live, I'm John Webby Webking. We'll see you next time.